Hello, my name is Benedict. So welcome to the AM Sports segment. I'm doing the show with my colleague Seven Saki. But we've got a lot to tell you this morning. Things that happened over the weekend here on the local scene. A Xylophone Cash Premier League outstanding game was played. Mediema SC Diana Stars at the Takwati and APAC. Mediema won that game. I'll tell you more about that. Also, the Black Starlights were in action in the African Youth Championship qualifier here on the at the Cape Coast Stadium. And on the international scene, this was a weekend where we saw most players that played for their boyhood club. They played their last games for their respective clubs. In Spain was Andres Iniesta. In Italy was Gianluigi Buffon, and one player also in Spain was Fernando Torres. Played his last game for his club side Atletico Madrid. And the English FA Cup final was on Saturday at the Wembley Stadium, and it was Chelsea that won. Going into that game, I predicted that Chelsea were going to win, and rightly so. They won by a goal to nil. Germany also, there was a cup game there. That's Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich. They played against Eintracht Frankfurt in the final of this year's DFB Pokal, which Frankfurt won by 3-1. If there is time, we'll show you highlights of that as well as other matters that happened in the Italian Serie A, where Inter Milan, after 6 years out of the UEFA Champions League, are back. They finished 4th in the Italian Serie A. But we start here on the local scene, and the Black Starlights team are through to the next stage of the African Youth Championship qualifiers. Over the weekend, they defeated their counterpart from Algeria by 2-0 to make it 2-0 on aggregate. Nana Kwame Samoa monitored the game and has come through with this report.
The Black Starlights of Ghana have booked their place in the final qualifying round of the 2019 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, following a 2-0 victory over Algeria on Sunday afternoon at the Cape Coast Stadium. The three-time champions advanced 2-0 on aggregate, following a 0-0 away draw in Algiers last week. Mohamed Kudus and Ibrahim Sadiq, both parts of Ghana's Under-17 World Cup campaign in India 2017, grabbed the goals for the Satellites. Midfielder Mohamed Kudus opened the scoring in the 36th minute with a beautifully struck shot from outside the box. 2 minutes after recess, Ghana had a dream second half, with winger Ibrahim Sadiq doubling the lead with a brilliant solo run before calmly slotting home. Ghana continued to carve out chances at will, but could not add any more to their tally. The Black Starlights will face Benin for a place at the final tournament, scheduled for 2nd to 17th February in Niger. Black Starlights coach Jimmy Coblan was pleased with the performance and promises to repeat it against Benin.
Well, it was our tactics that worked. I think we went there, we knew a bit about them, so we decided to find antidote to their strong points and take advantage of their weak points. And over there we got a lot of chances, we just couldn't score. So when we're coming here, we plan that in the first half, let's open fire, let's get the goals, then we come back and have them inside us so that they find it difficult to score. And that was exactly what happened. Football, most of the time, you could win, but still more room for improvement. We're going to work on where the weak points are so that at the end of the day, we could be able to get goals here against Benin so that when we get there, we find a way to hold them and come home. Either we win or we drew.
All right, congrats to the Black Starlights for making the next stage of the African Youth qualifiers. They will play Benin in the next round of qualifiers. That will be the final qualifier. Remember, the tournament will be hosted in 2019 in Niger. Now, we still have to stay with international football because the Black Starlights team, that's the Black Stars, Coach Kwesi Appiah, has named a 21-man squad for the friendlies next month against Iceland and Japan. These are teams that qualify for the World Cup, so they are preparing for the World Cup competition, and they are playing Ghana as part of their preparations. Well, notable players like Jordan Ayew, despite his fine form for Swansea City in the just-ended English Premier League, dropped. His brother Andre Ayew, as well as Captain Asamoah Gyan. There is no Abdul Majid Waris. New players in the team, Emmanuel Boat, and also Kwesi Chere of Bayern Munich Team 2, also in a team with other players making a return like Albert Adoma of Aston Villa, and also the man who has recently signed for Reading, that's Andy Yadom, also making a return to the team. Seven Saki has more in the following report.
Coach Kwesi Appiah released a list of 21 players on Saturday for the 2 games which the opponents will use to prepare for the World Cup next month in Russia. Despite Jordan Ayew's fine form for Swansea City in the just-ended Premier League season, he was overlooked. His brother Andre Ayew and Captain Asamoah Gyan all dropped. Other notable absentees are Jonathan Mensah, Harrison Affo and Majid Waris. And the Adam of Reading and Albert Adoma of Aston Villa returned to the team with maiden call-ups for Kwesi Otre of Bayern Munich Team 2 and Emmanuel Boateng of Levante. 2 goalkeepers in Richard Ofori of Marisburg FC and Lawrence Atizigi of Sochaux, France. Lomo Agbanyanunu is with Joseph Atama, Isaac Saki, all based in Turkey. Efi Akwa, Kasim Nuhu, Jamna Raphael, Frankie Champon, Boachi Adam, Wakaso Mubarak, Thomas Partey, Edwin Jesse, Thomas Ejapon, Rashid Sumaila, Nicolas Opoku of Club African Tunisia, Nana Ampoma are other players in the team.
All right, so a 21-man team named by Coach Kwesi Appiah for the 2 friendlies involving Iceland and also Japan. We'll follow that, but we are hearing that Richmond Boachi Adam yesterday in their game in the Chinese league picked up an injury, so we don't know the extent of injury, but it looks like an ankle injury, and we'll monitor that if Boachi Adam will not be able to join the rest of the Black Stars players for that international friendly. So we'll do more, but briefly before we move on, I just want to get Selwyn's thoughts on Jordan Ayew not being part of this team. I mean, if you are looking at players that played very well in their respective leagues, and you say the Black Stars call-up, if you're a player and you want to get a call-up in a team, it's based on merit and how well you do at your club. I think that Jordan should have been in. I don't know what you think.
Undoubtedly, he was one of the best players when it comes to foreign players outside side, maybe Thomas Partey. If you look at Thomas Partey, the next person you should be thinking about is Jordan Ayew in terms of form. He's been playing very well. Swansea was the best player of the team. She scored goals for them, even though they went for relegation. But you can tell that in that team, he was the outstanding player over there. So if you're talking about merit and performance of players and selecting some of these guys, I think Jordan Ayew definitely should be in this list.
Another player that should have also been in this list by virtue of his performance for club is Joseph Edu. He's a defender, plays for Genk in the Belgium league. He was named the best player of the team, the second best player of the team, 4 Man of the Match awards, and also doing amazingly well. I mean, as a defender, he scored 3 goals for the side, and he's also been overlooked in this very squad. Probably, maybe, I mean, Coach Kwesi Appiah is building a team, so all these players will find their way in the Black Stars in later call-ups that will be made as we prepare for the AFCON. That's the African Nations Cup. That's the Nations Cup qualifier. So we'll see how that will go. But let's straight away hit the international scene. Obviously, over the weekend was the English FA Cup that most of us watched, the Chelsea-Manchester United game. Well, going into the game, many predicted that Manchester United were going to win following their fine form in the English Premier League as compared to that of Chelsea. Chelsea dropped out of top 4. United finished second, and many thought that that was going to play a very significant role going into the final. But Chelsea won by a goal to 0. Roland Walker, very, very delighted, excited Chelsea fan when he watched that game.